good morning. Welcome in. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. My name is Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to look at your energy for today. So let's get into it. I hope things are moving okay for you. Life has been a little bit messy, a little tangled lately, and we're trying to find ways to balance through the various challenges. And the astrology has definitely been tense. We just moved into Virgo season. Happy birthday to anyone who is celebrating this month. It is a great time to find rebalancing, that balance between work and play, so to speak, right? Structure and freedom. Because Ayurveda has this idea that throughout the seasons, there is accumulation. So we accumulate, right? We accumulate whatever energy is the strongest. If you're in the northern hemisphere, you're accumulating that intensity, the summer sun, the heat, the fire seasons, etc., to build and grow your passions, right? Seeing what bears fruit, what the harvest is. The fall season is about harvest, and we're transitioning between the two right now as the fall season's upon us. And then if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's how are those resources serving us? What did we store? Is it sustainable? What are we protecting? Especially as changes are being made. So we will start off with this energy cleansing. I love to do a little blessing for you, cleanse the cards, cleanse the energy, remove any blocks or obstacles, low vibes that we really don't want in the way. It's also a really good time to set your own intention around what you're looking to receive out of this reading. Any messages you would like Spirit to deliver you, questions you would like answered, etc. And we will get into it. This is taking a second to light, so I'm going to give it a minute. So what I like about Virgo season is it does give us the opportunity to rebalance, to find a little bit more grounding and stability. It is earth element, and earth is that proverbial grounding, right? Like being balanced, especially as it relates to our health and wellness, our daily routine, our schedule, how we're showing up for ourselves. When we're taking care of ourselves, when we have balance, that's really where we find maximum efficiency and minimum effort, right? Where we can really put our best foot forward, be the best version of ourselves, make choices that align with that. And we're preparing right now. Virgo season, as we exit the summer or winter, wherever you're located, it's bringing in new beginnings and new opportunities and how we're going to plug into that. So let's get going. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is blocking the highest and best from coming through. Fear, doubt, insecurities, lack of belief, lack of value, worth, stability, patience, anger, frustration. Release it from our being. Help us to see, sense, and understand the messages clearly. Help me to be a clear and open channel for those messages. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama love. Amen. All right, so let's get into it. So, there is a lot of tension in the air, and we've been kind of seeing this all week. We are in a waning cycle of the moon. So waning cycles are all about releasing and letting go. It is a time to be a little more observant around what things are benefiting us right now. Does it make sense? Does it really fit into what I'm doing, where I see myself? Or is it just something that is going to really take away from my time, my energy, etc.? something that you used to put up on a pedestal, it's shifting, it's changing. Yeah, and it is actually bringing more harmony, because I do see that you're paying more attention to yourself, being conscious of what your wants and needs are, finding that balance between communicating what you need, but then also being still, being sedentary, not being afraid to be alone if need be, to kind of rejuvenate, recharge with that harmony card. There is something that you're still trying to let go of. I feel like you're in between worlds, or maybe it feels that way because you're in the process of building or rebuilding. You have a vision, but I feel like you've had to get a lot of things out of the way, i.e. this hostility, the hostility that like has reigned in your environment, meaning like the people, places, and things that you've been a part of that really have not served you, served your purpose, maybe brought you down, maybe invoked a lot of hostility within you, or were projecting a lot of their own anger, their own hostility onto you. And I do feel like to some capacity you are still healing from that. That's why the endings are in our block energy. But I hear like you're throwing yourself a lifeline, or you're building yourself a lifeline. I almost see it's like you're giving yourself rope. You're giving yourself like the empowerment, the courage, the strength to push forward. And it has been difficult to detach from this thing. I feel like I said, it's something that you saw very differently. It's something that you maybe put up on a pedestal or kind of worshipped at some point. But I'm hearing it's like you're seeing duality in all things. It's interesting because in this deck, these are those pictures of duality, the difference between hostility and harmony. And as Pluto is moving into Aquarius, it's really forcing us to look at those things in our life and say, is it worth the effort? I love that saying. It's probably a little cheesy, but I really love it. Is the juice worth the squeeze? I think it's just like such a fun, lighthearted way, you know, to look at things. It doesn't have to be so serious. Sometimes we think we get something that we want and it just doesn't turn out that way. It only worked off of a certain dynamic. It only worked off of you being a certain type of person in that situation. And it doesn't work that way any longer. And you've since realized this. And there are a lot of boundaries being set. There is a hard no in front of, I feel like you're putting it in front of someone else right now. I think this is something or someone that you are trying to end or trying to figure out at least an exit strategy, I would say. Because it's not fun anymore. There is a lot of hostility. It can't just be fine, right? Maybe the only way that the relation, well, I guess I said this before, but I'm hearing it even through their lens. The person or situation, well, you need to worship me because I'm giving you this. I'm giving you this wish fulfillment. It does kind of have that dictator vibe to it. Sorry, I'm not laughing at it. I don't know if that's too intense. That's why I'm laughing, because it's like, it does seem to be someone or something that likes the control, right? And I feel like you've been waiting for this ending to happen. I feel like you are protecting your sanity right now as things are moving. Okay. Yeah, so unfortunately there is heartbreak around this. There is a lot of sadness. We're seeing tension all across the board, especially with Venus. tension of like what we wish was different, what we wish had worked out differently. And the only thing that is making us feel better, Venus positively aspected to Uranus, is being more authentic, right? Like giving ourselves that love, that care, that compassion that we used to so urgently give to others, finding harmony and balance within yourself. And yeah, it's coming at a price, 100%, but it's a price you're willing to pay because it's bringing you more peace, and it's also making you see the hostility very clearly with people, places, and situations. It still doesn't take away the disappointment and the sadness. Three of Swords. I do feel like you're grieving through that. I feel like you're hoping things will move forward, or you're very much looking towards the future today, right now. Because it's not easy, it's stressful, and I feel like you feel misunderstood by people, situations, people that sometimes are unfairly hostile to you, not giving you credit where credit is due. But this feels like a person or individual who just can't give you that, is what I'm hearing. They're unable to, because if they do, it kind of like challenges them. Okay, interesting. 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords. Yeah, something who is limiting themselves, and there's not really anything that you can do about it. You are extending this hand of compromise, maybe, but I think also protecting yourself at the same time. You're not letting people push you or pressure you into a way of being, right? Like giving them a certain response, because you're willing to kind of protect that within yourself, is what I'm hearing. All right, let's move on. What else? I think you're seeing a lot of conflict in the future, and this 10 of Wands keeps coming out. That's part of what is stressing you out right now, is the fear of the unknown, or the fear that it's constantly going to look or be a certain way. Are you putting in effort that will go, unnourished, or like, is it useless effort, right? And you're challenging yourself with that because you don't have a lot of energy to spare, because right now your peace, your sanity is so important to you. You do want to be over and done with it, but I do feel like you're trying to be patient. You're trying to be patient in the process, but sitting in it has also been very uncomfortable. Because something is very resistant, is very hostile, kind of functions out of this way of not knowing how to express their emotions. Same thing over and over and over again. You think you're making improvement, and then it falls flat. I feel like there is an offering in the future to build and grow into something better. You're conflicted about how this is going to play out. Yeah, I think this conversation or this situation is brewing. We see this actually with the vertex point being harmoniously aspected to Pluto. So changes are happening whether we want it or not. We're resisting it. Neptune energy, Neptune in retrograde in Pisces. So that's like everything inside of us is telling us, but we can still be turning that blind eye. Be careful. I mean, I don't know. Be careful. With the Tower energy, there's that 3 of Swords again. Excuse me. It feels a little bumpy. It feels like there's not a lot of resolve. feels like someone or something, you are going to be feeling some backlash. But I think you also know this. You sense this coming in. It is closing out a cycle. It is pushing you into calmer waters. It's pushing you into spaces, relationships that you feel a little more peaceful around. Letting go is difficult, even if it is like an unhealthy relationship, I'm hearing, you know, like there are parts of it that we still struggle, that we still mourn, grieve the loss of. Making sure that you are nurturing those places of your heart. As I was saying, Venus is very tensely aspected. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune. So it's like we have to really take care of our mental, our emotional well-being right now, because we're going to need that strength, that stability as things play out. Yes, I love that. It is the cure. It is the cure moving forward. It's going to help you to be stronger. It's going to help you to embrace even some of the messier parts, even the parts of it that are going to be uncomfortable or difficult, you know. You're able to handle it in a wise, strong manner, right? Like you're coming from a place of respectability and wisdom. And I feel like it really goes to show who you are, what the challenge, what the hardship has brought for you, and what has come out of it, right? These places where people or situations have been really unfair, really hostile, and letting go. Life does not have to be lived that way, right? There is this shift in energy overall where we can choose to kind of still control, still dominate. It's going to get us certain results versus like working together and honoring and respecting and finding balance and harmony within those things. And we are being called with Pluto in moving into Aquarius. We're being called to really protect where we have that strength and support, because that really is what's allowing us to thrive. That's what's allowing us to bring in happiness and fulfillment. So thank you so much for your time and energy always. I hope you found messages that resonated here for you. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear, or definitely connect, share a little love, support, blessing. Thank you so much for all you bring to the channel. It totally blesses my heart. Have a fabulous day. Talk to you soon.